You already saw the title and the thumbnail, you know what this video is about, let's just get straight into it. Started off the month really strong with this Netflix documentary called 14 Peaks. It is such a good documentary and they've really been like upping their game with documentaries on Netflix and I've been loving it. As an editor myself, like I have a passion for editing and this movie, that was enough to blow me away. The animated titles that they have, the texture overlays that they use when they show photos, it was just incredible little icons that they have for the different mountains. It was beautifully shot and amazing to watch. Personally, there was a couple times that I checked the time and I was like, how far am I through this movie now? Because it did become a bit of a slow burn, but I think by design, because it is a big journey what he was doing and what he was trying to achieve, and I think it ended up working really well. It was very well done. And then I went on to watch a movie called Warrior with Tom Hardy, and it was a brilliant movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, fighting movies have certain cliches and certain, beats that they all kind of hit and follow, and it makes it a little predictable, but the story and drive behind this movie was enough that I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And this is the part of the month where I hit a bit of a movie slump and I just watched a few movies that just really weren't great. Eternals as a movie that's a part of the MCU just felt very disconnected to me. I didn't connect to any of the characters that were introduced. It felt like it went through things very quickly and I didn't enjoy it at all. The most exciting part of this movie for me was the post-credit scenes and the guy filming like a documentary throughout the whole movie. That's the character I cared about the most. It just didn't grip me. I felt bored, and there were good action scenes that were nice and the CG was beautiful, but I just didn't care. Editor Josh here, something that I just realized I forgot to mention about Eternals is that they actually did something right. They actually had a character that was gay, and being gay wasn't their only character trait. Like, it was actually really nice to see this person have interactions with their significant other, but it wasn't just there showcasing the fact that the person was gay, but just that their significant other was worried and that they were battling with like the choice of a family or going out to fight and possibly not coming back, and just a good family dynamic. And it just actually kind of felt good. It didn't feel like they were just there as a gay character just for the sake of having a gay character in the cast. So I just wanted to give them credit for that, because it was actually something that stood out to me afterwards thinking about it, because they didn't try to make it blatantly obvious, and I really liked that. So credit to you for that, Eternals. Never Back Down is a movie that I should not have liked, but I did. I really enjoyed Evan Peters in this movie. I think he carried a lot for me. I really enjoyed it, but there were so many scenes that I like cringed and so many things that I just really didn't like, and at the same time I walked away feeling like I enjoyed the movie in some way. I almost feel like you'd be better off taking out all the high school drama and objectifying and all these crazy things and just making like a 3-minute inspirational short film of them training, and that would be good enough. The third movie in January's bad movie slump is Abduction, and I have seen this movie before. I don't know why I watched it again. I remembered vague scenes from the movie and I didn't think it was gonna be as bad as it was, but it was very bad. It was terrible. I just really didn't enjoy it. It just felt like a high school jock's Jason Bourne, and that's about as much as I can say about that. But then, thankfully, pulling me out of the slump, I rewatched Ford v Ferrari, and this movie, I'm a car lover, and I really loved this movie and the way it was shot and the acting. I've seen a lot of complaints about this movie, but there's just something about it that it feels like a guilty pleasure. I love it so much, and I feel like I can watch it over and over and it'll have the same impact. I just personally think it's a brilliant movie. Ghostbusters Afterlife. This movie, it's hard for me to talk about. I've been trying to formulate a good way to say things about this movie, because I wouldn't say that it was bad, but I can't really say it was good either. It's just kind of a movie that I watched and kind of enjoyed as I was watching it. There were some good things and some bad things and some funny things, but I don't really have anything to say about it. It just kind of is what it is. 99 Homes is another brilliant movie from Andrew Garfield. Great performance, and There's a review in the trailer that says, Andrew Garfield will break your heart. And I think that's all I should say. It's a really brilliant and emotional performance. There's some parts in the middle that feel a little repetitive as they go on, but overall, I really would recommend this movie. I think it's really good, and it's based on a true story, and there's just something about that like going into a movie knowing it's based on true events, it kind of gets me. I don't know why. Every time I just feel like I almost can't say it's a bad movie because the stories just impact me so much. But yeah, great performance, great movie. I think you should watch it if you haven't. The Royal Treatment is a movie that knows its target audience and it goes full send into that, and I'm sure that people of a younger age group probably enjoyed it, but I didn't. In fact, I don't really know why I even thought that I might. It was on Netflix, so it wasn't a lot of trouble to see it when it came out, and it's just not for me. To be honest, when I started watching Home Team and saw Happy Madison Productions go across the screen, I wasn't very hopeful, but it wasn't actually as bad as I thought. It was great to see Taylor Lautner again, and I liked his performance. I think he did well in his role, and I mean, his last movie was in 2016, so maybe we're gonna get more from him now. Maybe this is his comeback. The only thing that really killed me in this movie that I was like, oh no, was the scene that they had where the kids had like eaten something bad and they were all like throwing up on the field, and it was this like CG'd projectile vomit, and it was tough to get through that part, but if I just close my eyes and ears and take that out and pretend it didn't exist, I think it's a pretty decent movie. And last but definitely not least, this month I finished watching Kim's Convenience. I love the family dynamics and culture that comes through, and the acting from everyone is brilliant. Lots of laughs, lots of serious moments. I really enjoyed the show, and I was actually really sad when I found out that there's not more to come. I thoroughly enjoyed the show and all the characters, and I was making connections, and now it's just over, but it was good. It was really good. And just another thing that I would say, if you haven't seen it yet, I think it's definitely worth a watch. So yeah, that's what I watched in January 2022. I think it was a pretty decent month. I think I can do more next time, and in future videos I kind of want to go more in depth. I'm just finding the balance between letting you guys know what these movies and shows are about, but avoiding spoilers, and giving my opinion and why my opinion is that way, but at the same time keeping it short and concise and keeping everyone engaged. For now though, that's it. That's January 2022. I'll see you guys in the next one.